All right, peace, family, peace, peace, peace. We should be live right now. Somebody just said where they at. You should see me right now. Inward Neek one. Family, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you see me and a good doctor. We got a great show for you tonight. But let me know if y'all can hear and see me before we proceed. Don't want to give this good information and nobody can hear us now. Doc, you there, right?
I'm here.
Okay, all right, all right. With the living legend, y'all. Can you hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me, though. I need to know if y'all can hear me before we get started. I don't come on this channel too much, so I just want to make sure everything's hooked up right. Okay. All right. You said yes, sir. Okay. All right. So listen. So family, as y'all know, some of y'all may not know, they suspended my other channel again. They said once again, they said I gave out. They said I gave out medical misinformation. They came after a video I did with Red Pill. Then they came after a video I did with Alcea. And they saying that, when my guest talks about COVID, they're saying that they're giving out medical misinformation. So, we're going to have to be strategic to have certain conversations around here. That's why we have webinars. That's why we do things off the platform that y'all could learn and benefit from. I'm with the good doctor, Dr. Valentine. Dr. Valentine said earlier this year got the channel suspended. So it seems like anything these people are coming down super hard. So but it's good to have Dr. Valentine back. Welcome back to the show, Doc.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Indeed. Yeah, we definitely need our own platform. I just got to figure it out. It got to be right. But we definitely need our own platform. We're working toward that. That's a very, very expensive project, and you want to make sure it's done right when you invest in a project like that. So that's coming soon, family. So definitely stay tuned for that. What's most important is though that we have individuals, regardless of what we're being fed in mainstream media, we have individuals that are still feeding us the light, the information, the truth. So with that being said, Dr. Valentine, I know you're coming back. You got another webinar coming up and you want to give the people some information. So this is just basically like a introduction, let people know, brief them about what's going on and what can we expect. So talk to me, Doc. What's going on, my brother?
Well, beloved, we're at what they call that when Marvel came out, the end game.
Woo, the end game. That's where we at
Yeah,
right now?
that's where we are right
No,
now.
no exaggeration?
No exaggeration.
Wow, end game shit.
So between now and the middle of next year, if we do not have a plan or a strategy to survive not only the economic crash, but the oncoming onslaught of weaponry, biological weaponry that is going to be coming at us. It's already hit India. They're already experimenting in the melanated places on this planet. India got hit with something where they're now finding a new variant. And we won't speak about certain trigger words, but there's a new variant that just all of a sudden came out of nowhere after they had their vaccination protocol. So we're going to deal with vax and the whole 9 yards. And if you really want to get into what's really going on, since they've been doing, you see, I don't mean to cut my own self in half. Brother Rich has been at the vanguard of putting on brothers and sisters who are actually talking about what's getting ready to go down to prepare you, not just to entertain and entertain, but to give you strategies so that you can go home, get with people, and start strategizing with what you're going to do, because they're going to come after the bank accounts. They're going to shut that down. Everything's getting ready to be marshaled into a cryptocurrency. The Great Reset, we thought we could help. We talked about this 2 years ago. It's here. It's here. And everything's being marshaled into the cryptocurrency, by what I call the cryptocurrency virtual space. Back in the day, Brother Rich asked me a question at the VV or the VAC program about Bitcoin. And it was very interesting the response that he got and the response that I got. And a lot of people didn't get the message within what I was saying is I'm not coming down on the crypto spaces. I'm coming down on certain things that have been in the works for the last 25 years that are now coming into fruition.
Mhm.
They knew that this economic farce that they call the Federal Reserve System was getting ready to come down. It was a
Mhm.
balloon and it
Mhm.
was ready to pop. So they had to move all assets over into another virtual space to prevent an incredible, monumental, and tragic and cataclysmic crash of the entire financial system around the world. That needed a cover for them to be able to do what they needed to do to reprogram the entire monetary system of the planet. They did that by releasing this thing, this entity that they called the I don't can't say it because we know what we were talking about. You understand what we're talking about. The certificate of VVID, if you understand what I'm saying, and number 19 meaning being AI. But what I'm saying to you is that that was the cover for the Great Reset. But what they're getting ready to do so that the Great Reset is under the cover of some kind of environmental, some great environmental saving that they want to do. They want to bring the planet into this green space. But what happens is to do that, they have to crop the population. They have to completely take out through scientific measures because they can't use the bombs, they can't use the A bombs, they can't use nuclear weapons because they'll wipe themselves out as well. But they can use micro weapons, nano weapons that we spoke about in 2000 at the Gathering of the Masters in Atlanta. It's here today, it's here right now. So I can give you on that lecture, on this webinar that's coming up, I'm going to go so deep into the tactical ways that they're using it. You have no clue as to what they have planned for us. We are no longer going to be known as the human or humanoid or what was the name that they have for us? Uh, Hominus erectus or whatever it is they call us. They have a whole new name that they're getting ready to come with, that they're getting ready to change the human population into. So that is definitely based in metaphysics. If you've been studying metaphysics with me, you will be at the cutting edge of understanding where the attack is taking place in your body and in the soul, in the spirit. How they've found a way to unlock the conduit between the heart, the soul, and the breath, which is the spirit. This is why the lungs are under attack right now because the lungs are the spirit. The spirit means breath. Espiritu means breath. So they go after the breath. When they go after the breath, they're going after the spirit. When they go after the spirit, the breath and the heart pumps. You see, the two work together. The heart is not a pump, it's a regulator. The real pump is the lungs. That are the lungs. So when they get after the lungs, they're getting after the connection you have to spirit. When you get after the spirit, now the lungs are connected to the heart, which regulates what the lungs bring into the body. That's where the soul sits. It sits in a little chamber in the heart. That's where they go, clear. Okay, and that's where the I forgot the name of it, the auriculus node. It's an auriculus node that's in the heart. The soul sits there. That's
Mm.
why when you look at the ancient Kemetic symbols, they show you the weighing of the heart versus the feather.
Mm.
They don't weigh your brain. They don't
Mhm.
weigh your lungs. They weigh your heart because that's where the soul is.
Mhm.
Okay, so when we're looking at that, there is this metaphysical war going on that is definitely undermining the archetypal principles of humanity that are based in the soul and the spirit. You are the original. You are the first order entities. And the second order entities now are staging a coup against your humanity.
So the second order entities are staging a coup against our humanity. Are they at war with what we call AI? Is AI looking to replace the second order entities? Are they
No,
losing control
no,
from?
yeah, that's a good question. The second order entities are the ones that develop the AI because they do not have the means to interface with the creator firsthand.
Mm,
They do that by
yep.
way of vicarious connections to that particular ecstasy, that particular bliss that we, as the melanated autochthonous peoples, we can interface directly with that through what I call the expression of hydrogen, which is melanin. Melanin is the expressed intelligence of the hydrogen molecule. The hydrogen molecule is the definition and representation of the one most high as it takes on material form. So now when they go down and they cannot interface, that's why they're putting on all these exoskeletons to get the feeling, the exoskeleton that you see in all the movies, when they're putting on all this and the Iron Man costumes, that's them putting on the melanin. That's them putting on whatever's necessary for them to bring their spiritual and their superhuman attributes to the front. Now, I know it sounds racist, and a lot of people will say I'm racist and all of this kind of nonsense, and you two mixed to understand and all this. You know, get your head out your asses and start listening to the message and stop judging just the messenger and see that you got all kind of words for her or him who's bringing this knowledge to you. But know that there is a war. They're prosecuting the war. They're about to ramp up the intensity of the war. And now they're going to come after you, telling you that you have strain number 2, strain number 3, strain number 4, until they've wiped out the necessary numbers to institute the Great Reset.
Mm. I mean, you warned us about a lot of things so many things that we seen come into fruition. I remember there was a time when people said, "Yo, why is Phil always talking about the feminization and this and that and that and this?" And people was like, "Yo, what is he? What the fuck is wrong with him?" And that's all we see now.
Right.
That's all we see now. And the first thing people say when they see that, they say, "Yo, Rich, damn, Doc kept trying to tell us about that."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely, when you talk, I listen, my brother, and that's why it's so important what you do. Let me share that link real quick with the family. What day is this again, Doc? You
It's
said?
going to be May the 30th, so there's a lot of time. The present cost is the discount. We are going to go up to the original cost 1 week before it starts. So on the 24th, I believe, right before the 30th, that's when it goes back to its original cost. So right now we're dealing with the discount. It's coming up on Sunday, the 30th of May at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, or Eastern Standard, no, Eastern Daylight Time. I guess that's what it's called. My wife is trying to show me the difference.
You know, there's so much, we're being hit with so much at one time, Dr. Valentine, in terms of like you said, the financial collapse is going on.
Mhm.
People don't know which way to go, what to invest in, should they get involved in cryptocurrency or not. Then we
Yeah.
got the pandemic over here. Then
Mhm.
over here we got cops going crazy. Every day there's a new cop
Yeah.
shooting or whatever.
Yeah.
Then over here, we got the mass shootings happening. White people going crazy. They shooting up everything in sight.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
over there, we got the UFOs. Now they're
Mhm.
saying the U.S. Navy, whoever's saying that these UFO sightings are real. So we're trying to figure out exactly what is the distraction. What should we focus on? Because I mean, it's stressful. People got their attention in 10 different directions right now. So what do you think is some of the important with all that? I said, is there something that stands out to you that we should focus on at this time?
The sightings, first of all, as far as the UFOs are concerned,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's the beginning stages to introduce us to those who inhabit the underground regions,
Mm.
those who require the adrenalized blood of our children to exist, those who cut the deal with the government and the upper elite in order to feed our children to them so that they don't attack us on the surface. But that's a whole other story we're going to get into. We'll touch on it in the webinar. The other part of it, when we're dealing with, you said at the beginning, what's the other one that you were talking about? The first part that you're talking about, not the cops going wild. These are not. Some of these cops don't even belong to this country. Some of these
Mm.
cops are imported in order to act to cause disruption. Because the more you see killings, because it's not going to stop, there's going to be more mass killings. They're trying to take and disarm this country. They're going to disarm this country. They have it in their plans to disarm this country because China is supposed to take over. That's why China is in charge and has 78 to 79% of all of the mining of Bitcoin is done in China.
Mm. That's a large
Okay.
percentage.
Yes, it is. And they know Bitcoin is not going to last. That's why I don't have. I had Bitcoin for a while, uh, cashed out, and got into another one called XRP. The
Mm-hmm.
reason why is a lot of people are not doing the due diligence to know where this great reset is getting ready to take them. Now, of course, a lot of people don't understand what a compelled benefit is. They say, "Well, damn, Dr. V, what you doing going into the Beast new virtual currency? What you gonna do? You got your own currency, you got your own land, you're gonna grow your own food. They're getting ready to take everything that you've been comfortable with, the money system, the education system, the entire environmental system, everything is getting ready to change. So you got to adapt so that you can continue fighting. The
Mm.
reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is that I've been into the cryptocurrencies for a while. I've been with the top echelon white boys who's been telling me what it is that it's about, and it's about transferring value from the fiat currency that is dead and has no value, is creating a virtual value system. And that virtual value system is where you're going to do business. And now, where everybody is going to be on the blockchain, now you're going to have to deal with any cash, which means they take away your independent ability to do what you want to do with your money so that it doesn't track. And of course, they're using the excuse that, of course, the criminals are going to be using this and that. And they've been using Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is what is known as a proof of work. Look, listen to those three words:
Mm.
proof of work. Proof of work does not work. And that's why I keep telling people don't get suckered into the Bitcoin, because the big ones, the big guys, want you in there. They have these people buying into Bitcoin. The multi-billionaires are buying Bitcoin to maintain some store of value. And look at that word as well, store of value. So Bitcoin doesn't do a damn thing except it's supposed to be able to deal with the transfer of value across the internet. You buy something from here, they ship it to you. Everything is done in the virtual world. But the thing about it is, they got this Green New Deal that they're implementing, and they're trying to tell everyone who has any technology that leaves a carbon footprint above 3 and 5% that they're going to shut them down. To make Bitcoin, to mine Bitcoin, one Bitcoin takes the energy, and just listen to this very carefully. To mine Bitcoin takes the energy that would, say, run Pittsburgh or
Mm.
Greece. The carbon footprint and the amount of money you have to pay in order to use Bitcoin. For instance, somebody bought in the Ethereum. Somebody bought something for $18.75 with Ethereum. but the actual mining cost was $168.
Mm.
So $168 had to be distributed or had to be cached in order for them to an item worth $18.75.
Mm.
With XRP now, which is going to be a bridge currency that the bankers are using very quietly. They're not telling you about this. They're very quiet about the XRP. They've been crashing it. The SEC, which is run by the old guard that's been using the SWIFT system, they're the ones who are trying to shut down and to keep the XRP ledger down so that they can maintain and take over. They're like the enforcers for the mafia, for the 13 family mafia. So I'm saying to those of you who are hating on me for hating on Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not what you think it is. It is a albatross. It's very slick with it, just like the Dogecoin. It was supposed to be a joke, and they're playing these games with all of these different cryptocurrencies to blind you to the ones that have utility. XRP, listen to what I'm saying to you, is a utility coin. It bridges. This is the coin. This is the banker's coin. This is the one they're going to use to transfer trillions of dollars back and forth across the earth, and it's going to cost 0.0001% of a coin to send it. So where it costs 15, 20, 25, you have to wait 3 or 4 days before you get it by using Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's in seconds with XRP.
Mm.
And those are the ones, that's what the big boys are buying.
Mm.
They're telling you, go Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. That's for suckers.
Mm.
You can get you're going to put in about the $150 to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up to 200,000, you pull yours out and put it where it is that those things are going to last, because they're going to shut Bitcoin down or they're going to tax Bitcoin because of the carbon footprint. I know that Ethereum is going to be doing a Ethereum 2.0 in order to catch up with Ripple's XRP.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ethereum's
Wow.
going to X 2.0. But I just wanted to let everybody know that I'll be talking about the
Mm.
best ways for them to be able to move their fiat into a place where they can appreciate the fiat and get out. They don't have to put a lot in, but get in while it's like 10 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents,
Mm.
15 cents, $1.25. You can afford those because they're
Mm.
trying to get us in the system. And you better be in there somewhere. At least know you got your cash, but know that you got some way that you'll be able to deal with feeding your family and paying your rent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You mentioned China. I think China also owns, if I'm not correct. Let me see. China owns the pork industry, I think.
Oh yeah, big time.
Um.
My partner had he was he had a legacy black business that dealt with pork burger, they call it, pig burger, they call it. And he was supposed to hook up with China because they're the biggest consumers of pig. And I told him, I said, you could do that, but make sure you do something to counter the fact that you be helping people to get heart attacks and shit.
let me share this. This is this article real quick. Can you see that, Doc?
Yes, sir.
It says how China purchased, and I'm gonna get to why I'm bringing this up. This is tied into the epidemic and everything that we see going on right now. How China purchased a prime cut of America's pork industry. The Virginia, let me see. I want to get to in 2013. A Chinese firm bought the quintessential slice of Americana, Main Street North. The takeover valued at 7.1 billion remains the largest ever Chinese acquisition of an American company. I was looking for something else, but what I
You know who's making that possible? Biden.
yeah,
Biden's in the pocket of the Chinese.
but
The
no,
Chinese.
this was in 2015, though, Doc.
the- You think he wasn't busy over there in China in
Oh shit,
2015?
yeah, yeah.
That's
Man,
what put him in there. You remember he got $1.5 billion from the Chinese. Him and
yeah.
his son. Yeah, and they said you
Damn.
better be president. or we're going to
You're right.
expose the fact that we see you and your son with the little boys and the little girls. We got you groping little children. We got your wife who was responsible for the death of your first wife. We
Mm.
know that part of it too.
Whew.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So when we talk about now that we see, China owns, a lot of the mining companies, they own the pork industry. I mean, shit, Doc. I mean, what are we? What should we do in terms of eating, like the people who still eat meat? Like, is it just pork that we should like stay away from? Because some people speculate that this epidemic came from the pork. A couple of people say that they think swine is inevitably tied into this, but people are not just saying it yet. But now, what do you recommend in terms of those who still decide to eat meat? We're going into 2021. People like, yo, I'm not leaving meat alone. What would you recommend at this time?
Well, I would definitely leave it alone during this particular quote unquote pandemic
Mm,
because they're going to be polluting the fruit supply. We know
mm,
that, the water supply. That's why my wife and I have 5 different purifiers. We
mm,
take it from the freight, but it goes through 5 different systems before we
ooh,
put it to our lips. That's right.
mm,
And it not only that, it helps your skin stay, right with fresh water. You keep hydrated.
mm.
But the main thing is that you get these materials here that help to defer or diffract the energy patterns. You have to pick up on the ozone and the set up tachyon fields
So,
around your computer.
so that's important. That
Yeah,
the
very
what's
important.
the organ?
Yeah, the orgone. This is orgone. You get the black shungite.
Uh-huh.
It's all around my desk.
And
Um,
now, what are you saying that's doing now? What is that doing?
it diffracts. See, there's certain energies that come off of any kind of electricity has an aura. You have an aura because you're a living entity because
Yes.
there's energy pumping in you. Well, you're putting energy into the computer through your wall. And when you
Mm,
put that computer on, the life force in the computer has an intelligence. It
mm,
breathes, it is cognizant as itself. Now they've taken it further and they've placed human genes and engrams to be able to interface with something that is conscious as itself. So now the end game is to create an entity that becomes conscious of itself by melding the two and then bringing out the so-called AI, and you ain't gonna know if there's any artificial humans walking amongst you in the next 25 years.
mm. Wow.
Yeah, they already started to thread human DNA and human genes into the AI system, and they put it into a polymer, a life polymer, where the gene is living inside of an environment and then it becomes hooked in to the entity. The gene is learning because that's what happens when your genetics learn based on your thought process. The
Mm,
program now becomes the thought process that the genes are learning and then feeding back what it learns so that now the computer is making up its own mind. It doesn't have to take instructions. It learns.
mm. Wow. So should we continue to invest in like they're coming out with something called augmented reality, and as you talked about with the crypto space, they got something called the metaverse where everything is going to be, it's like you could buy virtual real estate and you'll be like, yo, I got a home here, and they'd be like, where is it? They'd be like, oh no, it's on the computer in this virtual space. Is that something you think we should get on board before other people exploit it and profit off it? Or should we, because sometimes we late to the party, and I'm
Right.
trying to figure out, is that something we should even be involved in?
You hit it right on the head. We late to the party. That you could become XRP is about to make multimillionaires.
Mm,
You had to. It's over time. You're a young man yourself, and this is for your future. In the next 5 to 10 years, XRP is going to be through the roof.
Mm.
Okay. And yeah, we are late to the party consistently. Now, as far as this getting into dealing with AI and all that, yeah. Why aren't we teaching our young people to stay current with the technologies that is going to either control them or they'll have control over? We don't have the brain thrust. We don't have the access to the high level education necessary. You notice it's the Japanese, the Chinese, and the Europeans. And every now and then they may invite the Indians in to work for them. We don't have a say as the autochthonous original peoples from this continent because they're making sure that this continent falls. They want the resources here. They want to move people off this continent because China cannot grow enough rice to feed its people. They're starving for rice. So they're looking for places. Yeah, that's why your boy Bill Gates bought these thousands upon thousands of acres.
The farms, right?
Yeah, he's buying that because he's buying it for the Chinese. The Chinese have a food problem. They got to feed over 1 billion people.
How did they get to that point? Not being able to have enough rice?
Whatever happens as far as I think there's some kind of biological warfare that they're going on between Europe and China in order to maintain their the supremacy, on the what do you call that, the Wall Street stock exchange. So when you're dealing with stock exchanges and you're dealing with pork bellies, you're dealing with orange juice and all these things, part of that would be rice as well. So there is a war, a economic war based in the food chain. So who knows what happened as far as the rice is concerned? Look at what happened with Bitcoin. Over 85 or something like it was at 85, 65 to 85 or 95% of the Bitcoin mining in China shut down just yesterday and today because the dam is about to go. Once the dam goes, the biggest makers of Bitcoin and the mining is gone. That's why they moved to Montana to try to find the places with the cheapest electricity so that they can use it. But the carbon footprint is going to be something that's going to be in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 years. Anybody has anything that has a high level of carbon footprint, they're going to tax mercilessly, or they're going to have them shut down. They're going to go out of business, which is why Bitcoin at this point and Doge coins and all these other coins, they got 9,000 coins right now in the cryptocurrency space. I would say something like 90% is going to be gone because they're useless. They don't have a utility. And I'm telling the brothers and sisters for their own sake, because a lot of brothers been coming to me, Dr. Valentine, why you hating on Bitcoin? And some brother, I think, they put up a whole thing about Bitcoin, about why it is I'm wrong about Bitcoin. No, I'm not wrong about Bitcoin. I've been doing my studies long before you, and if you're not older than me, then you can't know more than me. You can know a lot, but I can study from you, I can learn from you, but when there's things that I've been knowing, it's not blowing any bubbles for myself, but the older you get, you can't get dumber if you're actually paying attention. And I looked at Bitcoin, they're still saying, well, he made Bitcoin in his bathrobe. Give me a break. That's the intelligence community. The CIA created the Bitcoin. And get your head out of your rectum. The CIA created it as a means for offsetting the crash of the economic system of the United States of America and their supremacy around the world, and the dollar as the staple the staple currency for around the world.
One thing I keep hearing about in the news, Doc, is that they keep talking about these space hotels that people are going to be able to go to on vacation in a couple of years, and we keep hearing about Tesla with SpaceX. Why are they stressing vacation in space so much, Doc?
I don't know why they really believe that this is.
Well, let me make the screen bigger. Hold on.
They really believe that this is what the world looks like.
Mm-hmm.
They've been told that the rest of the universe looks like this. Mars is a big ball.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus is a big ball. All of these big balls they're going to go up to when it's all bullshit. They're not going anywhere. They're going to have virtual worlds that you're going to see, just like they have this virtual world you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
going into this thing where, oh, I have this virtual house and this virtual thing. I live in this no. Everything is going to be virtual, and you're going to really believe that you're on Mars. There ain't on no damn Mars. They're over here in the Pacific. There's a place, I forgot where it is, that they actually have the rover. And the entire island is covered in red sand. So they got NASA over there running their little buggy and making you believe that somehow they're on Mars. But a lot of astute people are picking up on it, because sometimes when they take pictures of what look like Mars, you see little animals, and you see things that definitely belong on here on Earth. But ain't nobody leaving this plane of existence, not unless they're going to do it through an extra dimensional, or what I call paradimensional uh, conduits.
What's that? Paradimensional conduits. What's that?
There, the time stream that we're slipping in and out of.
Uh-huh.
There are doorways and fusion points that allow us to interface with different realities, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset of the reality, because see where we live, the quantum mindset of our plane is very difficult for people for an alien to acclimate to, because the social consciousness itself becomes a barrier. Most people don't understand that your mind gives off energy.
Mm-hmm.
And if the entire planet or the plane of existence is vibrating along Jesus Christ, Allah, Yehovah, and all of these different things, that sets up a field of energy that
Is
when
that
you're
is that the morphic field? I'm sorry. Is that what they call it?
the morphogenetic field,
Uh-huh.
that the planet itself has its own morphogenetic field, its own consciousness, its own intelligence. We interface with that field, and we set up yet another vibrating energy that becomes what we call the social consciousness. Then there's individual consciousness. Then there's the animal consciousness. All of that combined becomes this entity
Mm-hmm.
of intelligence that belongs to us
Mm-hmm.
and us alone. And nobody can actually interface with the atmosphere created by our thought processes. At one point, they say that the human thought is a pollutant. Human thought pollutes those who are very high in their spirit and can't really understand why the vibrations around them are so discordant. So they talk about, aliens coming in here. They're going to have to interface with our atmosphere. I know do I sound crazy? Yeah, I sound crazy. But guess what? Just wait a little while longer. I won't sound that crazy in the next couple of years. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
These people are thinking along these lines. That's why we got to go outside of the box and stop thinking that, okay, because you hear CNN and MSNBC and what it is that people are telling you about aliens coming from outer space, all this is pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
They already told us. Von Braun told us that it would be the Nazis. Before that, it would be the economics, World War I, World War II, and then we're going to have an attack from outer space.
Mm-hmm.
He said that. Why
Mm-hmm.
did he say that? Because he knew that those who control us know that in order to bring us together under one world order, we're going to have a threat of such a magnitude that all nations will feel that everybody now has to unite under who they say the leader is that's going to protect us from the aliens. And we're going to go marching along lockstep into their vision, or else. And then you're going to see all kind of lights in the sky. You're going to see Virgin Mary walking on a cloud. Maybe even Jesus might make an appearance. Who knows? but you're being hoodwinked, bamboozled. And you
Mm.
better get your head out of your rectum, making you believe that somehow waiting for Jesus to come down and save you. You are Jesus. You are the Savior. You are the Messiah. And I call us all the collective Messiah. And so we got the job of dealing with what's getting ready to come down. I'm just the message bringer. All I'm saying to you is I will have solutions for you at the webinar. You will have a much deeper understanding of what's getting ready to go down, not only economically, but spiritually, metaphysically, soul wise, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I just shared the link. We probably be on for about 10 more minutes, family. We're not gonna be on too long tonight. Then Dr. Valentine will come on my other channel before the actual webinar.
Mhm.
But the link I just shared in the chat. Also, make sure you support his Cash App. Let me just put the Cash App on here. I don't have my mods with me. I don't think Sanu 777. He also has a Cash App family. This brother is already banned from certain platforms, and it's very difficult for him to say what he really wants to say. So he has to say it on
And
the
not say it.
webinar.
And not say it, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this is the things we have to be strategic. So work with us, family. Make sure you support us. Support those who support you with real deal information. Um, why has Trump been so quiet, Dr. Valentine? What's going on with Trump?
Trump essentially is supposed to be running things, or he'll be making an appearance sometime in July, I believe, or
Mm.
August. And Uh, like I said, you could trust who you need to trust by what they do and not what they say. Biden isn't running the country, the military is. Trump has the football. Anybody knows what the football is? That's the nuclear code, so to speak. Trump knows where all of the bodies were buried. In fact, they shut down Washington, D.C., and they had to clean out the tunnels from under Washington, D.C., where at least 2 or 3,000 children were being kept. This is not just under the tunnels. These tunnels go down sometimes a mile or two into the ground. They've been cleaning these tunnels out. A lot of people are saying, "Well, I don't see any evidence of it." You're not supposed to see evidence of it. All of that will come out soon. They're telling you, "Well, we don't hear from Q anymore." Yeah, everything is being laid very quietly, which is why we're here. The people like myself are here to tell you what to prepare for. And this is what this webinar is going to be about: how to prepare for what they're getting ready to do next. Trump is gearing up. Watch, he's getting ready to come back on the scene. But there will be an assassination attempt. They say that Biden is actually dead and it's nothing but his clone. And every time his clone breaks down, Jim Carrey, who dresses up as him, supposedly takes his place.
Oh man.
Who knows?
Right, right.
Hmm.
Man, wow. These are some interesting times we live in, Doc.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. And I sound the more we begin to unravel the truth, the crazier I will sound.
Because that's how much we've been lied to, huh?
Indeed. A lot of times most people believe that this kind of reality that we're living in, because we've become so saturated with it and so comfortable with it, is the real reality. But there's a parallel reality going on right now where they don't really give a damn about you. They're about to exterminate us. They want to exterminate us. And the
Who's this?
process is beginning.
Who's this? A parallel reality that wants who are you referring to?
I'm talking about those. Well, we don't want you to get shut down right now, brother.
Man, you got some stuff, man. I can't wait for the webinar, man. You
Yeah,
got
I'd love to tell you. I'd love to get into it, but then there's so many things I'd have to say that
yeah.
will definitely get you around, and I wouldn't want them to happen to you, my beloved brother. Not there, not again, because the last time we said we had this, they shut you down because of what I was saying. But
Yeah.
it's going to get raw, real, and relative when the time comes, and I have to do it off grid, which is why we have these particular platforms. The last time I was on, they shut down my computer, and some of the recordings that I had went blank. My television, my screen was saying they shut down. You're off, you're offline, and this doesn't happen to me. Every time my wife and I have any kind of platforms going on, never get a shutdown. Only when I do my webinars do they come after me.
Mm, mm. Amazing, man. Leave your contact info. Let me put the webinar
Yeah.
one more time in the chat. Let the people know how they can reach you, Doc.
Well, for the vaccination exemptions, which I find has been doing a good job, the vaccination exemptions, they can call 800-847-1291. 847-1291. 800-847-1291. And if they want to deal with Juice Plus, they can actually get in contact with us and we'll give you more information on that. Okay, so from what I understand, everyone, Brittany says that the link that you're giving them is not working. It's taking them just to Zoom. So I'm going to have to, if it's possible, when you do. The link that you have is the correct link. Yeah, that's the one I sent to him. Well, I mean, I could send it again to him later on. All right. So my wife just said that the link that you have, it may be missing one or two of the. She said it's in the chat. I put the correct one in the chat. Oh, okay. Our assistant administrator, Brittany, just put the link in the chat. If everybody could see that, I'm sorry. If not, and you're not getting it, you can go to my private email, which is Sunnu, the same SUNNU 777 at gmail.com, and just put in there in the subject box webinar link, and I'll send you the webinar link if you're having a problem. But look in the chat; it should be there. And if you can actually cut and paste it and put it into there, or I'll resend it to you, beloved, we can work from there.
Yeah, I'm looking for now. Definitely resend it to me regardless, so I can put it in the description for people who see this video later on. Because a lot of people didn't know we went live tonight, but they're gonna be seeing it and hearing about it. They're gonna say, "Oh shit, Dr. Valentine's on Rich channel." So I want to make sure they're gonna have the right link. But okay, so all right, let me see. Okay, I see this. All right. Okay, so is that everything, Doc?
For now, I'd like to really get. I don't want to give them too much at this point because we're testing the waters with the people that you're dealing with on YouTube. So let's just see how this one comes out, and then when we get together the next time, make the announcement. Then I'll come in a little heavier to get them prepared for what's going to be coming up. The lecture itself is about 6 hours, may go on for 8 hours. We don't know, but in the explanation of what I have to explain to you and how deep it goes down to the molecular and to the atomic level of your being, they found the key. They found a way to navigate their way to your soul and to hold your spirit, which is what they're doing with this COVID. They are holding your spirit hostage.
Also, Brother Hank's channel is real under the radar, so you could be a little more free when you go on there.
Yeah,
and really say something, because that brother, I remember last time we was on there, we had a good time. Okay. It's a little, so just trying to figure out how we could let the people know as much as possible without getting it, taking it down.
Yeah. But I appreciate everything that you're doing in helping me to get the word out to everybody. Like I said, you're on your mission. Everybody, you need to support this brother. Anytime he puts out the clarion call, y'all should be there. And y'all should be definitely pushing whatever it is the brother has, products, his services. And I'm saying that as an elder from holding this down for the last nearly 40 years. I know talent and I know brothers who are real. This brother's real.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming on, always giving us the truth as you do, my brother. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Peace, family.
Take care, brother.
Peace.
Peace.